And there it is, folks. Finally, we got to watch this thing operating in real time, and I only had to sit there waiting for 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Howdy, folks. How are y'all doing? My name is Rees, and welcome back to our Tekkit 2 Let's Play Adventure. I have been busy since the last time that we were all here together. Oh, and by the way, if the audio sounds really weird, I've noticed this in the last several videos I've made. I think that the tube in my tube amp is going out. I use an art voice channel. It uses a tube amp. They have a limited lifespan, and I did some math based on how long the tubes usually last, and mine should have gone out about 5 years ago, based on my use of the tube amp, and I didn't realize that. I've got a new one coming. If the audio sounds weird, my apologies. Hopefully that'll be cleared up later. I've been trying to fix it in software, and it's been a bit of a mess, but this is what I've been doing since last time. Not much. I ran a cable and ran into a serious issue. See, if we fly all the way down here, which I'm not going to. It takes so long. We need to set up a teleporter. But how are we going to power it? Because, of course, we ran into a very obvious problem. One that some of you were probably even thinking about as I built this, which was the power doesn't reach to the end. Once we get down there, all of these cables are unloaded. And because they are unloaded, they're no longer carrying power. So how do we fix this? I don't know. I mean, obviously, the number one suggestion that comes to mind is just world spikes. But all the way there? That's a lot of chunks to keep loaded. Look, we'd have to go from here. I don't know if you can view chunks in this menu, but we'd basically have to have a solid chain of chunks loaded from right here. I did not realize how close to this other village we were. All the way up to here. That's a lot to keep loaded. I don't know about that, folks. Especially because they seem to load in a 3x3 area. I mean, it'd be fine if we could just get specifically the chunks going in that direction that we want loaded. And that would be doable if this were a Feed the Beast pack and it had that nifty map chunk loader thing that they have in that, where you can claim different pieces of territory and then claim the chunks within that and to keep them active. But we don't have that here. Our options for loaders are limited. We, of course, have the Worldspike, as well as the personal, which is basically the same. But the Worldspike, again, is like a 3x3 area. We don't need that many. We need something smaller than that, really. And, I mean, in terms of, like, spikes, what have we got? Worldspike Point extends Worldspike chunk load area. Oh. Oh, there's an idea. That might actually... Okay, hold on, let me look into this. So I'm reading on the wiki now. It says to use a crowbar to pair the Worldspike Point to a Worldspike. Once the two are paired, they will only keep the chunks between them loaded up to a maximum of 25 chunks. The fuel required will adjust accordingly. Of course, that's used for railcraft, to keep railways operational. Folks, that could be it. But I'd have to count the chunks. Or I guess I could count the blocks, and then chunks are 16. Okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. We might be planning for something that we will still not be able to achieve because there's some sort of unforeseen complications, as does tend to happen. It's a good thing we're safe down here in our glass house from the storm. What's the worst that could possibly happen? If I saw someone say that we should have taken Napier back to the village by now, but we're not done there. We still have to get power. We have to get heating into everyone's homes. There's still a whole lot more to do, and I don't want to bring Napier back to his village until it is finished and ready to roll. Unfortunately, we have a ton of world spikes, and I don't know why these two won't stack. Unless maybe this one already has some fuel in it? Oh yeah, look, it's already charged up. That's interesting. Okay, well, we'll go with that then, and then I'll add the recipe for this here Worldspike. And oh my goodness, there's so much in here that I guess we were planning on, or we did build. We built that. We did that. Not that, though. None of this yet. Not sure about any of this here. Maybe a water pump pipe was something else we wanted to look at? I haven't played this in a little while. I haven't played this in a hot minute. See, what had happened was I started playing a lot more... Well, okay. I played a ton of Xenoblade Chronicles 3 on its release month. So throughout all of July and August, all the way up to the end of August, I was playing that game almost non-stop. It was crazy. And then I got to a point where I had 80 hours of footage to sort through because I was not editing fast enough to keep up with what I was doing in the game. And I was like, okay, I'm going to take a break from this, and then I will begin playing again once I've caught up on the editing. And then what happened after that was this came out. And so I just started playing this nonstop because I was like, oh, good, Tekkit. Love Tekkit. Remember Tekkit from the old days? I've made, a Tekkit series on every version of Tekkit before. Gotta play this one. This one's gonna be great. And so this took up all my time. But now, as some of you may have noticed, if you're subscribed to the channel and paying attention to the content being released, I caught up. I got all of the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 videos out. So guess what I did? I hopped back on what was supposed to be maybe an hour-long session. Just play a little bit of the game, enjoy my time, and then get back to your regularly scheduled programming. And what happened instead was, I've now spent the last 3 nights in a row putting an additional 9 hours into the game. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is one of the best games ever. That's why I voted for it for Game of the Year and RPG of the Year in the Game Awards, as you should too. Phenomenal games. Love them. But I've had to force myself to play this. It's not that I don't enjoy this and I don't want to play it. It's just, it's kind of like think of 2 foods you love. You love them both, but I mean, for me, I love steak and I love a good hamburger. I love them both. Personally, given the option, in most situations, probably prefer a hamburger. I know it's not high class of me. I know it's pretty basic, but probably prefer a hamburger. There's certain places where I'd prefer the steak, but probably prefer the hamburger. And I love this. But right now, I'm really feeling Xenoblade. But we're here now, and we're going to see whether or not our overlay to get chunks to come up. Which button is that? Not that one, I'll tell you that much. Whoa! Do you guys know F4 is for Matmos? I didn't. It's F9. I found it. It's definitely F9. Ooh! And if I hit F9 again, is that like a chunk border right there? So this is 1 chunk, 2 chunk. Okay, perfect. And then the chunks go. Where's the dividing line? Is this the middle of the chunk right here? Is that what that line means? Possibly. What I'm trying to determine is whether or not we'll be good putting our world spike like right here. I reckon probably. Okay. Yeah, because it fills in this whole wall all the way to here, which is what matters. And then we need to go that way with it. So this is chunk 1, and it said that it would go up to a distance of 25 chunks. I'm going to have to walk through here and count these as I go. 2. I'm not going to make you stay here for it. 3. We're going to do like a wipe. 4. We're going to just do like a clock fade. 5 right after this. 22, 23, 24, 25. Oh dear. Okay. Well, we've made it this far. I guess we'll have to do an awkward here, where we have this here, and then we'll just have to put down another world spike right here. And in fact, I have so many world spikes at my disposal at the present that I can just get another one out right now and be more or less good to go. But we will sync these up now. Do I need to... Is there any sort of interface on this device that I need to interact with? No. So just right-click. Pairing was initiated. We will right-click again. Pair... Did y'all hear that? It's the witches. They're back. I think that's what that is. Remember, they tried to sneak into my basement once for some reason. So you're gonna go for a little bit longer. We're gonna leave you be. You should be fine. Do I have everything in my inventory? I think that I do. I don't even think that I need to go back upstairs. I think that I can get away with just going ahead and grabbing my Philosopher's Stone. And we're probably gonna manufacture a few more of these. Maybe 1, 2, 3. That's probably enough. I mean, there's nothing wrong with manufacturing too many. They're very affordable considering that... Where's all of that noise coming from? Considering the volume of EMC that we are producing at any given second and how much we already currently have stored. I mean, inside of, and this is actually insane, I forgot that I did this, and I probably shouldn't have, but inside of the Mercurial Eye, there's a filled Klein Star Omega, and there's no reason for that. There's no reason for that. That's ridiculous. What function does that serve? No one needs that much EMC. That is insanity. That is so luxurious. You know what I'm saying? No, it's gluttony. It's EMC gluttony. It's wrong. I'm okay with it, though. I'm not changing my ways, and you can't make me. We're getting some void powder out of here. So remember, visually speaking, you can only put 16 void powder in there, but we discovered in the past that if you hop it in, it does get stored. Now, I don't know if that only goes up to like 64, and then maybe it stops hopping. But to my knowledge, do I need to like shift right click to clear this or anything? Or just like right click it here? Pairing was initiated, it's ready to go. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 24, 25. Oh, we're so close to the bend. That's perfect. We'll put the next one there. And then I don't know what I'm saying. Put down our spike, and we will pair it. And then we will put down another standard world spike, and we will dump roughly 16 into that. Perfect. Start. Oh, wait. Are we going to do that, though? Are we going to do that? Hold on. So if I run it along this wall, and we put it, you know, anywhere within this chunk, then technically we don't need this one. So we can take it back down. Let's empty it first. And then we take it down, and we'll leave that hole there. Who cares? I don't. Because this chunk right here is loaded, and this chunk is directly adjacent to it. So long as we place our world spike within this wall here, we should be good to go. What does that red line mean? Oh, is that just like the next one, I guess? I didn't even think to wonder whether or not you could have a point, like 2 points connected to a single world spike. If I set this down in the middle and put one of these to one side and one of these to the other, would that work? I don't know. Okay, hold on. Let me see how many we've got here. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 25, 26, 27. That's obnoxious. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. It's working now. It is filling up. But why? I don't... What? Wait, hold on. If we have a look here at the map, we went out from just about here. Boop, so just next to this village. All of that is now loaded, but nothing in this direction is. And yet it's working. Was the problem never the cable not being loaded? Was the problem always that maybe I didn't have it close enough to that other... to the MFSU in the... I don't think... I am unsure if I fully understand what's happening. I'm not entirely sure if I trek, because it should stop right about here, and yet it's still filling up. Okay, alright. Okay, sure. You know what? Fine. I don't know the rules. I'm curious. My natural curiosity is getting the better of me here. I really, really want to know what's happened to make this work. Is the issue that... Because there is a world spike in the basement, right? There is still I think there's still a world... Let's double check that first off. Let's make sure that there was, in fact, a world spike. Oh, wait. Was it close enough to the nuclear reactor to keep it going? I don't think I've ever stopped long enough to wonder that. I don't know if I've ever stopped long enough to question whether or not there was a... It's gotta be. Yeah, it's still ticking. Oh, it's getting empty though. Here you go. Enjoy that. It's definitely... Yeah, hold on. If we do our F9 thing again. 3x3, right? Yeah, well within it. But that MFSU, that's the second time in this episode I've done that, is also... It's gotta be close enough. 3x3, right? Is it centered on... Even then. You know what, folks? Sometimes in life, you're handed a good turn. You know what I mean? Sometimes in life, you're given a bottle of lemonade, and you don't even have to make it from lemons. It's just ready to go. And what you don't do in that situation is start questioning why you got the lemonade. unless it was given to you by like a stranger or a murderer, someone who might want to poison you or harm you. Maybe that's bad advice. That's actually terrible advice. But sometimes random things happen outside of other people trying to influence or take advantage of you, and this is one of those moments. Sometimes you're just born with good genes and you don't go bald. And you don't question why you don't go bald. You just sometimes in life, building a couple world spikes gets your whole ridiculous power delivery scheme operational. And you don't question that. You just accept that now it's working. And really, it would be an insult to God to question why he's blessed you in such a way. So just be grateful. You know, understand that you didn't deserve it, and be grateful you got it anyway. With that knocked out, let's take another look at this here water pump pipe. I still want to see if it works the way that I think it works, which is that you have a water source block. We should probably sleep when it's dark, by the way, so we can hopefully get rid of the rain. You ever wonder if we're ever going to figure out what was going on next door with the neighbors? I sometimes wonder that. I also sometimes wonder if we're ever going to figure out what this is all about. Or whatever happened to the pirates. I feel like there's a lot of questions that have been asked that have just not... Like, what did they want an egg for? It's been a while since all of these events occurred, and we still don't truly know the reasoning, the rationale. Oh well, that's not for us to worry about right now. What we need to worry about right now is getting a golden fluid pipe, a wooden fluid pipe, an iron gear, and some redstone. So I do have a golden pipe and a wooden pipe. I have a stone gear. I think I just needed the one, is that correct? Yes. And then I've got 2 redstone. Now, to make these waterproof, I think we just, add some pipe sealant, which is going to be cactus green or slime balls. And I thought we had to cook them, but I guess I was crazy. Oh, apparently we can compress sticky resin? I don't think I've ever done that before. That's a really interesting thing that you can do. Okay. I did get a comment from someone, and I wanted to address this, because I think this could be a really interesting hack for folks in the future. We just have infinite iron. It's going to be infinitely generating iron forever because of a bug. Now, there's a possibility the bug will be patched, so I don't want to say this is like a guaranteed moneymaker. But one of these is 16k, and I imagine that whatever bug this is would probably work with other things as well, like, let's say, gold. And apparently, all you gotta do is already have an export upgrade, I think it was, and then already have stacks of... I'll have to check the comment again. I'll have it overlaid in the video. That could be something to experiment with in a future video, or maybe something for the Minecraft, the Howdy Folks MC channel, like another tutorial. Oh, that's something I should announce. That's something since the last episode. Folks have been asking for a sort of more tutorial-geared Tekkit series, or really just more tutorial-geared content, which doesn't really fit the feel and the theme of a channel that's literally called LP for, like, long play, let's play, that sort of thing. Let me take a nap. How, sir, did you get on my... You gotta go. Just noticed that. This is not a place for zombies. Anyway, as I was saying, this isn't really the right channel for that type of content, so I went ahead and launched Howdy Folks MC. You can figure out what that stands for yourself. And I've started uploading things like guides and tutorials and other things like that. And I did a video about our EMC blaze rod farm thing. So just something to be aware of. Well, I was doing something there. I did not mean to go off on a tangent. I meant to get pipe sealant and combine that with our golden transport pipe to get a golden fluid pipe. And that, where did it go? Come here, you. Get back over here. Stop trying to get away from me. We're going to combine it with a wooden transport pipe to get a wooden fluid pipe. And yes, this is how you make waterproof things. You just compress resin and you get sealant. It's amazing what we do with industry these days. I think that the next stage is going to be performed inside of here. Just combine it all together. Ooh. Awkward and embarrassing. Comment down below. Top 10 embarrassing Howdy Folks moments. Number 2, the iron gear. In this episode of Tekkit, Rees forgot that he needed to turn his stone gear into an iron gear. Needless to say, this caused him a great deal of embarrassment, and his fans laughed. Ha ha ha. See, what you can do now is you can comment down below, comment along the lines of ha ha ha. And in future generations, we'll be able to see that and know that, yes, indeed, that did happen. People did laugh, ha ha ha, for whatever reason. We've got our water source block. We're going to head downstairs here and determine whether or not this works the way that I think that it will. So I think what we're going to want to do is have a source of water. We can have it be, like, right next to it. I don't care. We can tidy all this up later. This is all for the sake of experimentation. But then we have our water... Well, first off, we'll have our pipe there to pipe the water into here, and then we'll have this here. Apparently, yep, there it goes. It's filling up. That is crazy to me that that works. That is absolutely nuts. And the reason we would want gold is I believe gold will carry more water than any of the other pipes. But that is now full and just going. And it just... You don't have to do anything. There's absolutely no maintenance or interference involved in this. It just sits there and continues to operate. I love that. That's from additional pipes. It's the water pump pipe. The next stage would be to go ahead and automate the 2 of these, which I think we might go ahead and do. Because one of the things standing in our way of building the black hole, more black hole units, as well as the black hole controller, is we just need a lot of plastic, which requires a lot of dry rubber, which requires a lot of tiny rubber, which requires that this thing just be pumping it out. So these things are both full of fluid latex. And in order to get that out, I think all we would need is a wooden transport pipe with more pipe sealant. And that might actually be it. So we do have more wooden transport pipes, we do have more pipe sealant, and we don't really have that many golden fluid pipes, unfortunately. I can make more. First off, let's get a stack of sticky resin, and we will run that through our singularity compressor. That is actually going to produce so much more pipe sealant than we will probably ever need or use. So maybe let's take that back and not do that. Also, why are you going so slow? Do you only have a... You have a basic export up? Why do you have that? I cannot fathom. I love how boldly I have declared that this is all we'll need, when in reality I don't know and we might need more. Should have brought pipe plugs too. You might never need them, but then again you might also end up needing them. So better to keep pipe plugs with you always and forever. Actually, I feel like this whole setup would be made better if this were at ground level, but... This is kind of where we're at now. Oh, wow, that's a bit of a mess. Does that automatically remove the fluid? Maybe only if it has somewhere to go. Oh, that might be problematic. Will it run through there? And then we need to pipe that off. Interesting. I can't help but notice that it's not being extracted. We might have to provide a pump, or, barring a pump, maybe we can just get one of our real nifty gates doodahs here, a pipe pulser. I call them gates because that's another thing you can get to put on pipes, and they're built in a similar fashion, and therefore that's what I think of. So if I put that on there, and I just turn that on. Ooh! It's working! Oh, but it's filling that up. Or is it? Actually, that might just be backing up because it can't output that much. Okay, we'll turn that one on too. And then... this should be emptying. It isn't. It is slowly. And that should be empty. Good. And then all of that will be pumping into here to create some tiny rubber. Okay, we're getting somewhere. We're going to get rid of the 2 of those. And now we need to look at a block placer, is what I was thinking of using. Something to put... So we got a block placer from Industrial Foregoing, as well as a block placer from the Project Red expansion. And this one... Hold shift for details. Okay, that's helpful. Thank you very much. I don't know anything about Project Red. I don't know what would be involved in getting this thing working to begin with. This I also don't know anything about. This one looks easier to build, so we'll start with it. But also, look at this. This is fantastic. Oh, I'm loving this so far. Look at this. Is absolutely glorious. Let's go ahead and grab some of that. So the goal of getting all of this tiny dry rubber is that we can then place it in a grid like that to get dry rubber. Not tiny anymore. They've all come together to create normal-sized dry rubber. And then we want to smelt that up. And there's only one way to do that, and that's to ruin our completely broken system here. Stop. Stop. Oh, this is a macerator. Oh, wow. Yeah, so I didn't actually have to break it at all. Well, good news is I fixed it. And I'm a little bit dumb. There we go. Dry rubber, though. Oh, baby, love the noise that makes. So, like I said, it looks like the one from Project Red will be the simpler of the two, requiring a chest, a piston, a redstone, some cobblestone, and some iron, and of course, I forgot the redstone. Now, the responsible thing to do there would be to get the redstone out and then repeat everything I just said, or edit all of this out, but we're not going to. How do you work? Tell me about your life. If I put cobblestone into you, and then what? Do I need to supply you with a redstone signal, maybe? Like if I had a button, and I clicked that button. It's pretty much that simple. Pretty much that simple. Okay. All right, so we'll need some sort of like a timer or a clock, something that's going to pulse at regular intervals. Why are you complicated? What are you? Energy control. I don't feel like that's what I want. This, though. Okay, well, hold on. Let's build the other one. It's wild. We have not yet built a dropper in this series. It's not that shocking, because I don't know why we would have, but for some reason I searched in here for the recipe and was surprised to see we didn't have one. I think we now have everything we need, though, unless I am terribly mistaken. That'll build our machine case using iron, planks, and a block of redstone. And then we will pair that with our droppers, our redstone, and our plastic to get the industrial foregoing block placer, which looks like it requires power, which, of course, we've not supplied to it, so I don't know what I expect. Show working area. Okay, there we go. Interesting. I like the idea of not having to have a redstone clock ticking to place a block, but I would like to see this one work. So let's take it downstairs, and let's verify first that we've got power cables. We'll give this thing a quick test and see whether or not it will work for our cause. Powering it will not be an issue. I'm sure that there's power on the other side of this wall. In fact, I know that there is. Getting the power there might be a bit of an issue. It might be visible from the other side. It might not look very good, depending on where it ends up being placed. Or maybe actually it'll be fine, because we can put down some of those beautiful spray foam sealant things and fill all of that in. So this might actually be perfect, in fact. So we will go ahead and get our block placer, and we'll plop it down here, and it's facing in the wrong direction. Do I already have a tool that will fix that? We'll go ahead and get everything that resembles a wrench or a crowbar out, and we'll just give them a shot. Iron crowbar? Nah, not gonna work. Standard wrench? Not gonna work. What are my other options? Is there one? We got a Buildcraft wrench, a Chisels and Bits wrench, a Forestry wrench, a Galacticraft wrench, a Gravsuit Classic wrench, a couple of those, couple of these, couple things from the bushes, things from the trees. I think they're yucky, but I know they'll please my friends for dinner. Have we talked about how me and my brother unironically watched Land Before Time 5 the other day? Because that movie slaps, okay? That's a great film. Who doesn't love Chomper? Chomper is fantastic. Okay, maybe we can place it like this, and then we will just put that block of marble back down, and everything will be fine and life will go on. But are you getting power? No, because I removed that power cable like an absolute dodo. That's why I should be extinct. Oh, interesting. Are you going to tell me that you require power from a certain side or something like that? Look at this thing from every angle. It just doesn't, it doesn't want... Oh, wait, now I remember. Now I remember. These guys don't like those. These guys like these. Oh, that's right there, isn't it? Okay, alright. It's a real gosh darn shame that we never got that big battery built there, isn't it? That's a real doozy of a problem for us now. Imagine in a world where we had that there big battery we could be feeding power to all these machines with. That really... Oh, it makes me feel regrets in my soul. Gold kinesis pipes. We've used these before, haven't we, I think, for the quarry? Well, I've got a fresh batch I've got a fresh batch right here. And now I've just got to figure out how I'm going to hook them up in such a way that we can get power to both of these machines. Let me think about this. Because right now, this is currently hooked up via a hole in the floor, which was working out flawlessly. We can run power from over here, I think. There's probably power already over here. Don't we have a teleporter, like, right near here somewhere? Maybe I'm crazy. Reason I ask is I was just thinking that perhaps we could take that and we could put it up here instead. And then we could have all this be cleared away. And maybe put this right here with our power going like so. And the block placer actually going right here, so I don't mean to place that there necessarily, but if we get just the right angle here with our block placer, it should place it pointing downward. Maybe? Is that right? Does that look like it could be correct? It doesn't, does it? It looks like the picture's pointing in that direction. That's the side we want. Will it not point downward? Am I gonna have to figure out how to get the exact specific right thing to rotate it around? There's a certain level of irritation involved with trying to get these things to work that I don't think ever really truly comes across in the video. But I'm no Minecraft expert. I don't know what I'm doing any better than the rest of you, honestly. So apparently this is as far as we've gone. None of this can stay here permanently. None of it can. And the reason is, if we are going to add a fourth teleporter down here, which we're going to at some point, I think it literally, the back of it where the MFSU is going to be where this water is. So all of this has to be moved in the future. And with that in mind, I'm no longer concerned about finding a way to run it that looks nice. If I'm going to have to take it all down anyway, we might as well just let this happen. It's happening now. There's no going back. So you are powered on. Do you need to be configured in some way? Do you need to be activated? This machine requires a redstone signal to activate. Well, where were you getting that before? Oh. Oh, okay. I see. All right, yeah, let me see. Let me just get that from you. I understand now. I understand. My bad. Let me just plop that directly onto you. Hello? Hello? Yes, I see. Stored, yes. Yeah. Oh, wait just a darn minute. Oh, it's... Oh, this... Oh, my gosh. Okay, hold on. Here we go. There we go. Okay, everyone. Alright, okay. I figured it all out. It's fine. Oh, Shrek off! You can tell me that's not gonna work? What's wrong with the wooden kinesis pipe? Is it because it is making contact with the item below it? How do you feel now? Okay, you know what? I'm trying to be nice here. I'm trying to be kind. I'm trying to be helpful to you. Okay, because you're getting on my last nerve here. I'm starting to really resent everything that you represent in this world, Mr. Electric Engine. Now I've got a wooden kinesis pipe that I made just for you. Why don't you do me just the decent courtesy of just even just considering using it? Hey? Thank you. Thank you so much. It's literally the bare minimum you need to do. You! Do you... I mean, I see the power going in, but why are they both like this? Why are you both like this? Will you only accept power from the bottom? Is that the situation? You understand? That's a little irrational. You understand that that's a little bit silly. Let's get some acacia logs, all right? Plop those in here. Just throw down an acacia log here. We're going to see that start to get chewed up. And so this is going to start to fill up. And it's going to start to run. And it's not going to accept any new power anywhere because... presumably, it only likes to get electricity from the bottom. That is my assumption. But I think that the evidence bears it out for the sake of just verifying, right? You know, just to make sure. Because again, none of this is permanent. All of this is temporary. All of this will end up being substantially different in the future. So that goes on. It does not appear as though it is filling up. It appears as though it is running down. What if we pause it here? Hello? Why would you be like this? Why are you like this? It's heating up. Am I missing a thing? Am I the dumb one here? Am I the idiot? It was working before. Maybe it just hates these pipes. That's a possibility. That's a possibility. All right, I have received a ton of comments since we started this series about flux cables. And today I'm just frustrated enough to give them a try. It looks like each tier builds on the next, and an LV flux cable is probably enough. Now, I don't know really anything about these, about how they function, about what the rules and regulations are surrounding their use. I'm just going to build a few of them, and in fact, I'm going to build... Oh, right, that's not how that works. I'm going to build quite a few of them. 25... I'm going to go ahead and build 30... I'll build 36 of the darn things. And it looks like they will carry 256 RF per tick. So we will zoom our way back downstairs. And we will get rid of all of this nonsense. And we will instead... Actually, get rid of that too. Come here, you. Get out of here. I don't want to look at your silly, silly face ever again. Hook this up directly, maybe? It looks pretty solid. And then hook that into there, maybe throw that on. And what we would like to see happen is... Hey, look, it's charging up. It's getting power. It's filling up. It's beautiful. Let me ask you... riddle me this here, my lovely viewers. That's not good. I think this probably needs to be plugged in. That seems like it might be essential. Or maybe something just blew up somewhere far away that I didn't notice, owing to the fact that it was distant. Let's restore this nightmare of a setup. Oh dear. Hello? Well, everything seems to be okay, so we're gonna charge ahead. I don't know what happened there. I genuinely do not know what just happened or why. That was strange. That was odd. Maybe concerning, but we're gonna just hook all of this up here. Oh, actually, I guess I need to leave that hole open. And we will run the last of these back here. And then when we fire this bad boy on, we should... Oh my gosh, look at that. The block got placed. Oh my gosh. How exciting is that? And then, of course, the next question on many of your minds is, wait a minute, Rees, what happens when it runs out, though? That's going to be a bit of an issue. And you're right. And I hadn't really thought about that. I guess maybe a hopper, and then... Well, you know the setup. You know the setup. We're going to need a condenser, collectors, a hopper. None of it down here, though. We've got the proof of concept running. We know that this works. It's an eyesore. It takes up too much space. We're moving it. I'm immediately, literally right now. What is it? Where's this go? Home, upstairs, whatever this one was labeled before. Lovely. I'm taking all of this down now. Now that we know that as a concept it works and produces a bunch of tiny rubber, we're moving it to the actual automation facility. Literally, I'm not joking. I'm doing that right now as we speak. This is an interesting problem. I guess because they didn't finish breaking the piece of wood that was right there, I ended up breaking it. Now, this spot here is just kind of glitched. And I guess that's going to happen regardless of what I put there. That's very, very strange. What if I put a piece of basalt there? Even that, that is weird and adds character, and I respect that. There's no electricity here. How did I not think about that? I mean, we have power here. I guess we'll just have to. Okay, hold on. Can we run power through the wall? I don't know if we can, because these things go into the wall, and the wall's not that thick. Okay, well, we will run power underground? Alright, folks, we are down here in a utility tunnel that I just built for managing power underneath the factory. We have our power coming from this glass fiber cable going into our electrical engine, and then going up through this LV flux cable to a much tidier, I would argue, and nicer looking setup. Well, I mean, that's objective. Or, no, it's not. It's completely subjective. Here it is. It's sort of the mess on the wall aesthetic we've been going with for our past couple of Wii automations here, which, by the way, I might need to shrink these down. I think I could probably do better in the future. But as you can see here, it's pretty much the same thing we had inside, but squished and stretched and completely... What's happening here? Is this an issue of this pipe being not quite right? Is that what this is? I originally had the block placers down here. Or, I'm sorry, the tree fluid extractors, and I did a test, and I see that we might be having some kind of an issue from it. Is that really going to be... Oh, oops. Is that really going to be a problem? Okay, that seems to not have any cracks in it. Okay, so if I now place back down this, you're still going to be like that. But it does look like it passed... No, is it passing through? I can't tell if it's passing through. I genuinely... It looks like this is going down. Maybe it's okay. Maybe the crack was never really an issue. But, okay, right. We'll start from the top. So up at the top here, we've got ourselves an energy collector MK3 hooked up to an energy condenser, which is condensing acacia wood, which, to my understanding, is one of the better woods to use for this whole endeavor. There's a hopper underneath that chest, feeding the hopped material into a block placer that is underneath this block back here. And then the block placer is also receiving power, and it's ran underneath there, so you can actually see our block placer here. It's got 12 acacia wood in it. Clicks it down right in front of it, where are two tree fluid extractors. See, this one's got fluid in it, and it's not emptying out correctly, and I don't know why. I wonder if this needs to be an iron pipe, so that this can't go backwards. That might be our issue. Give me a moment here. Iron transport pipe, pretty easy to build. And then, yeah, okay, iron fluid transport pipes is a real thing. Let's see, we do have ourselves a wrench, which might be necessary to get this set up. I don't know if this is going to end up being our problem, but I would like to get it fixed if it is right now on camera for all of you. So we're going to plop that down there, and we want to reconfigure it so that it flows into there but not back out, which I think would be like this. Yes. So it looks like this should now be emptying, although it is still filling up instead of emptying, and I don't know why that is. I am so confused. Why is it not just going into here? Oh, you know what? There's an idea. The Galacticraft fluid pipe. That is actually a brilliant idea. What if we just got those? And I don't have them on my person. I know we were carrying them around with us for a very long time, but I seem to recall leaving them back here in this chest, thinking that we wouldn't need them again for a while, because we weren't going to be going back to space anytime soon, because why would we need to go back to space? We've conquered all of the planets, and by conquered I mean we've traveled to them and seen that they're not quite all that interesting, and just sort of abandoned them. But alright, how about that, baby? You like that? Do you like that? Do you like that? I don't think either of them really like that all that much, unfortunately. Don't they require a tool, though? Don't we have to get the Galacticraft wrench, something like that, and then maybe right-click on them? Oh, baby! Oh, baby! Tell me how you really feel. How are we doing here? Is it doing anything? Oh, you're like that now. Oh, we need you to not be like that is the issue. Good news is that one's empty. Bad news is I can't see a way to turn that on and leave that one off. It seems to treat the whole... What? This works with the... What? Well, it definitely didn't before. Fine. What if I did that? Are we happy now? Are we all happy now? Is that working? Comment down below. Let me know what your favorite fluid style pipe is. Because I'm not sure about this working out long term. Okay, so hear me out. What if we fill up a tank with latex first? Which is what it... Wait a minute. Is that going to empty this, though? Is that why this is blue? Because it's extracting the... If you've ever wondered what it must be like to live a nightmare, a true nightmare, try making YouTube videos. Okay, everyone. We've refined the setup a bit. Let's see where this gets us. So that should now be empty, and that should now be empty, and that should be filling up with liquid latex. Should we just start over? Let's just start over. Alrighty, folks. Well, we are down here in the maintenance shaft, or tunnel, that I have made underneath the factory in order to run power to all of our machines. We have our glass fiber cables running power to the electric engine, which is turned on with this here lever, and pumping power into these flux cables. All seems to be well. It's a little bit on the warm side, but I don't expect it to create any sort of thermonuclear disasters, mainly because it's not a nuclear reactor. That's probably the main reason. Up top here, we can see that we have a water pump pipe with a small source of water underneath it, pumping water into our latex processing unit, which is hopping into this obsidian chest down here. But where is it getting latex from? Well, remember that power cable from earlier? That's feeding a block placer, and that is getting acacia wood from this here collector and condenser, and then hopping it into here, which places it down here, and we have these two tree fluid extractors, which are using the fluid pipes from Galactic Craft to pump the latex that they extract from the acacia wood back into the latex processing unit. As you can see, the whole system is perfectly automated, running smoothly, and the next stage in the operation would be to have the tiny dry rubber automatically crafted into the the dry rubber, and then have that cooked into the plastic. Now, if I'd thought about it in advance, I would have gone ahead and automated that as well. But see, the funny thing is, I didn't think about it in advance. I'm thinking about it now, and it's a little bit too late to do anything about that, because that would require I take the entire setup down and redo it. Oh, shoot. Alrighty, folks, well, we are down here in the maintenance shaft underneath the factory to show off the first part of our setup. So we've got the glass fiber cable going into the electric engine, which is being powered by the power from the glass fiber cable, but it's turned on by this lever, not like turned on as in aroused in any kind of... That's not what I meant to imply, that they're just friends. And then we have the LV flux cable here, carrying the flux energy, the redstone flux, if you will, up and into the factory proper. And right over here, we can see that it is powering this latex processing unit, which gets water from this water source and this water pump pipe. And it gets latex from this setup over here, where we've got a collector, a condenser, creating acacia wood, a hopper, a block placer, which is also powered from the LV flux cables, placing acacia wood, and then that is producing latex, which is being piped out the top here, and dropped into this latex processing unit. And as you can see, once it hits 100, it spits out some into this hopper, which goes into this auto work table, which automatically turns that into the dry rubber. And of course, we need to cook dry rubber to get plastic. I've not automated that because... I don't have a good reason. Alrighty, folks, we're back down here in the maintenance shaft underneath the factory where we run power to our machines. And as you can see here, we do have some glass fiber cable that is running some electricity underneath here to some machines up top. And I will show you what those machines are from up above, because it's actually a little bit hard to see from down here. So we're going to make sure we have that open. Hop our way out, because I mean, we just get stuck up there. It'll get a little bit obnoxious, but I'm glad we have ladders now in case something should happen and we get stuck down there. That's very important. So where does that electricity go? Well, it goes to a few different places. One of the things that it goes to, you can see it tucked away back there, is an electrical engine, which is converting the EU, or the electrical units, into RF, which is redstone flux. And the redstone flux is being carried by LV flux cables to a few different places. For example, it's being carried here to a block placer filled with acacia wood. The acacia wood comes out of the hopper from this energy condenser, which is getting electricity, or I guess I should say just energy, from an energy collector MK3 to create the acacia wood for the block placer to put in between these two tree fluid extractors, which are extracting the latex from the tree, from the wood, and piping it into the other item that is using the power from the electrical engine. This is the latex processing unit, which is supplied with latex, as I said, supplied with power, as I said, and supplied with water from this water fluid pipe and this water pipe pump and this source block. All of that comes together to create the dry rubber. Well, no, it comes together to create tiny dry rubber. Tiny dry rubber is then hopped into the auto workbench, which is manufacturing the regular dry rubber, the larger dry rubber, and this should be probably a much faster auto craft than we've seen before, because it coincidentally and completely not intentionally is now connected up to the pipe behind it, the power pipe behind it, receiving redstone flux, which makes these go faster. If you supply redstone flux, they craft a little bit quicker, and I've never actually seen that happen, and yeah, look at that, that's quite a bit quicker. So that should just sit inside of here, except for we have an electric furnace, which is plugged in directly to the high voltage, and it's not blowing up thanks to a couple of transformer upgrades. We've got an import and export upgrade inside of here, so it's automatically importing the dry rubber from above, and it is exporting the plastic over here. We did it. We've actually done it. It's unfortunate about this, and if I put anything else down here, it'll have a similar issue, but there it is, everyone. It's functioning, it's automated. We are getting the plastic that we need to build things like the Wither Builder, the range add-on, the animal suits. Specifically, we would like to be building in the future more black hole units, and of course, also in the future, we'll need to build things like the mob slaughter factory so that we can get pink slime ingots from pink slime from killing monsters. That is not even where we started the episode today, and I'll be honest with you, I don't remember where that was. Well, I do remember. It was inside of here, talking about this. Oh my gosh, we built world spikes this episode. So I guess we'll go ahead and end things by verifying that all of the work we've done did in fact pay off. By now, the MFSU should be filled if it all kept running the way that it was supposed to. Now, it's possible that because we weren't there, the MFSU was no longer loaded, and therefore no longer charging up. And if that's the case, then we should consider building some more. Well, we've built them. Consider placing some more world spikes and such. Man, that tunnel's longer than I remembered. And it stopped. Okay, so I guess we just sort of tricked it somehow before. Yeah. Well, I suppose I will finish continuing to place world spikes and the little spike points, and hopefully we'll get that thing back up and running. I was going to say for next time, but I might as well just go ahead and do it. Oh, this world spike is empty. I wonder if that was the problem all along, because this was not... Okay, well, whatever. Well, that one is now activated, and then there are two more, I believe, along the chain here. So that was number one, and then right up here on our left, we will see any moment now, if you're being patient, and you just take a deep breath and you come with me, you'll see number two, and then we enter into a couple of black voids here. It's unavoidable that that's gonna happen. The issue is when we pass through one, that where it might be where number 3 is, but I think that right there is number 3, and then we start here with the new world spike. So that's world spike number 1 in the long ways one. the long ways. It's nice that we're finishing where we started. Okay, that is pretty nice. I like that the episode's been circular, cyclical. What is the right word? Cyclical sounds negative. Circular sounds more positive. It's like poetry. You know, each stanza rhymes with the preceding one and the following one. Number 2, and then right here, Electric Boogaloo, MFSU. Thank you, folks, for watching. God bless you, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.